Hello everybody and welcome back once again for today's video of DIY investing. Over the last couple nights I've been going through and analyzing as many coins on CoinMarketCap as I can in hopes of finding some of the true hidden gems inside of the market. In the meantime, I found 3 altcoins that I really wanted to share with you guys today because I think that these are setting up for a very profitable market cycle. If you guys find this video helpful, do myself a favor by leaving a like, comment, and subscribing to this channel for more updates in the future. If you guys want more awesome analysis like the one in this video, click the invitation link in the description of this video and there you're going to get access to my Discord server. We've got some awesome charts to get into today, so without further ado, let's jump right in the video today. Okay guys, so to start off this video, we're going to be taking a look at Altcoin. Now I'm not sure exactly what this coin is. I remember I watched a couple YouTube videos about it way back in here. There was some people that had been into I think that had an ICO. I can't remember specifically, but there was a couple people that I saw that were really interested in this. And from there, we just kind of kept dumping. But we're at a significant point where I do expect this to have a very sizable move one way or the other. What this is showing to me is that the momentum is slowly dying out of the bearish favor. We can see that the selling has become less and less significant, and recently we just made our first higher high, if you can count that. Really, we got to hold support right here, but what I'm seeing right now is a very perfect rounded bottom formation. This is not financial advice, but I did buy some last night. I did pick some of this up, not very much, just a small bag, just to have some, because I do expect that whenever this thing does start to move, it'll impulse very quickly. I don't expect this to sell through support. I would think that with the degree of trend showing that the bears are weakening and weakening, I think it's more likely we round out, and this is where you start to see some volatility coming in. Now, notice here, with what I'm seeing, when we made our first higher high, notice all of these big wicks that started coming in here. That's where the volatility starts to come into play. And so oftentimes when you're trading a market, what you'll see is a certain side will have market dominance. In this case, the bears had market dominance. And we kept getting pushed lower and lower and lower until finally we hit the lowest point. But the market didn't break any lower than this right here before we finally bounced up and we made a higher high. Now, during this higher high is when the volatility starts to come in. And that's really because it's the first flippening that takes place. Now, up to this point, the bears had been in control, but now we've made an actual higher high, which shows that the bulls may have momentum in their favor. And so now that you're starting to see these wicks coming in here, the volatility picking up, it's showing that there's more bulls entering this market. And so because of this, I would assume that we're going to have a very profitable market cycle coming up in this coin. And so I picked some up last night. Let's see where we're at right now. If you bought some, basically where we're at, you're looking at pretty solid returns. I mean, just to this high, you're looking about double your money. To the next one, you're looking about 300%, and then that one, you're looking at about 700%. And so really, I don't find it unlikely to think that we can hit these about right there, about right there. We have these lower highs all the way through here. And I think that those are going to be my realistic targets for the way up. And so that's kind of the way that I'm going to structure this trade. But really, guys, I think that this one has a lot of profit potential. I like the way that this setup works, where it's kind of the similar setup where you see like Darrow, XMR, and even Ethereum, how they make their first market cycle, they fully retrace into new lows, and then they kind of make that one wave. This is similar in structure, only it's different because this, instead of making its first impulse and kind of consolidating sideways, we really just made a rounded bottom formation. And so for me, this is one of the most profitable setups that I've been able to find, is rounded bottom formations. They're relatively easy to spot because you generally have a market cycle that fully retraces or close to. You can see that the degree of trend gets less and less significant. In this case, the bears. We can see that the degree of trend gets less drastic until finally we round out and make a higher high before the next cycle. So this is what I'm going to be watching out for Altcoin. Now, next up on the list is going to be Tomo Chain. Tomo was one that I heard a lot of hype about from a lot of top traders a few months ago. It would have been back down in here in these lows, but I saw a lot of people talking about it. And I can see why they would talk about it. This coin and the next one on our list is actually going to bring us to roughly the same comparison that I'm going to make. Tomo reminds me a lot of Link or Chainlink. And this was a very awesome coin that I'm sure you guys have heard a lot about if you're into crypto at all. This is one that's been very popular on Twitter because it made a very impulsive cycle on the way up. And we're kind of just selling off from that. Now, I bring this up because a lot of coins are following roughly this same sort of accumulation structure where we have our cycle high and then we kind of go through this long sideways consolidation. We consolidated sideways here in this range for a long time before we finally broke up and out into price discovery. And so I bring up Tomo because it reminds me a lot of the same market structure. We have very nice volume in here. Inclining volume with declining price is always a bullish sign. And so if we come in here, we're going to see that, in my opinion, we're about in this part right here, or maybe even somewhere right about here. I think that we're right around there as far as the accumulation goes. That's the most likely comparison that I can see, because we're pretty much mostly consolidated already. We did make a little drop, and we're back down here at about the average of this consolidation. And so I think that right now is a very good buying opportunity. I think that you can't really go wrong setting some lower bids down in these areas just to see if they would get filled. You might as well. I have some set down in these areas just to see if I can have the potential to get filled in those, but I'm not sure if I will. But either way, guys, I've averaged into a position, a small position right here. And I'm going to be watching this because it does remind me a lot of Chainlink before we made our massive parabolic run. Even if you were to buy today, to the all-time high is about 350%, so you're looking at some pretty solid returns. Aside from these accumulation lows right in here, I don't really expect us to find a lot of resistance until we do start to hit this all-time high mark before the next impulse into the next cycle. So this is what I'm going to be watching out for. Very excited about Tomo Chain. This brings us up to the last one on our list, which is Maker. Maker is also doing the same sort of accumulation that I see with Tomo. Along with Chainlink here, I think that we're roughly in the same sort of accumulation cycles. And so this is one that I'm watching. We did get a lot of sell volume that came in here at these lows. So that's a very good sign as far as capitulation, something you'd want to see. But I do like this. I can tell that there is some nice accumulation going here. We can see because the degree of trend is starting to become less significant. We saw a definite downtrend until this point, where we could count this a double bottom. I don't really look at it like that. I just look at this as a horizontal support line. I mean, we had prices stabbed at this low, we broke up and out, and then we made another attempt to break lower, and we didn't. So from here, this is all bullish consolidation. From really all of this consolidation on the right side out, this is all bullish in my opinion. From here, we were retracing, trying to find where the absolute bottom was going to be. We hit it here, we broke up out of those lows, we retested those lows, and now we're consolidating out of that. So in my opinion, anything outside of this line on the right side is going to be bullish. I think that with this massive capitulation wick that we saw here with this volume coming in, that shows that the sellers have died out. And now that we're kind of consolidating outside of that, this looks to me like my first higher high before we start to go much higher into the cycle. And so this is one that I'm going to be watching out for. Maker's a really interesting one to me because it really has one of the lowest circulating supplies out of any altcoin that I've seen. So there's not a lot. It's worth about 500 bucks. I think that at the end of this next cycle, we could see it valued at quite a significant margin. But I mean, to the all-time high mark, you're looking about 250%. And with these cycles, the ones like Chainlink, where we've had these long, slow kind of consolidations and accumulations in this range right here, these are the sort of patterns and trade setups that I'm not necessarily looking to take profits until we're close to that all-time high mark or past it. Because I do expect these market cycles to kind of impulse like Chainlink did, because it has had a lot of time to accumulate. So before we wrap up this video, let's take a look at the time frame that we could see here. So from the cycle high till the end of accumulation was about 476 days. So from the cycle high to where we're at, about 477 days, right around there. And so we're right around the same exact length of time it took to accumulate between the two cycles. Now let's take one final look at Maker and see roughly the same. From where we're at right now, oops, wrong tool. From where we're at right now, you're looking at about 578. So Maker's even had longer of an accumulation period. And so these are, guys, these are three coins that I expect to have very significant hype cycles. They've had a lot of time to accumulate. We've shown that capitulation has taken place in all of these, in my opinion. The fact that we have a higher high in Telcoin with the bearish degree of trend lessening and becoming less and less severe with each drop. On top of that, you got Tomo that's showing the same accumulation as over here with Chainlink. I think that these are 3 profitable coins that are setting up for very insane cycles. And so these are 3 coins to keep on your radar. These are 3 that I wanted to share with you because I've been going through altcoins recently and I just thought that these were 3 that had a lot of potential to come. So anyways, guys, this is the video I had for you. Drop a like, leave a comment, subscribe to this channel. Trying to hit my first goal of 300 subs. We're at about 291, so we only need about 9 more subscribers. Do your guys' thing, smash the subscribe button. If you guys want more awesome analysis like this, click the invitation link in the description of this video, and there you're going to get access to my Discord server. Anyways, guys, with all that being said, I will catch you in the next video. As always, peace out.